Have you noticed Trump is looking pretty beat down, pretty fatigued lately, as though he's somehow shocked that the world and now Democrats and other people are actually standing up to him. I mean, look at him yesterday. And then the day before when he did that weird product placement event, look, Caroline Leavitt, Donald Trump's pink dress lady, she's unable to spin this. I mean, she's making matters worse. And then you have Donald Trump's pink dress man, his vice president, J.D. Vance, can't spin this either. This was the real release, though, that they released. Not the photo isn't real, but what they said here is actually from the White House. This was another week filled with endless wins for the American people under President Donald J. Trump. All right, well, let's take out the receipts. Let's see if we've got these endless wins from the Wall Street Journal editorial board. Again, this is a right-leaning Wall Street Journal. How do you like the trade war now? Trump is furious that Canada won't take tariffs lying down from the Wall Street editorial board. We said from the beginning that this North American trade war is the dumbest in history, and we were being kind, Donald. It's the right-leaning Wall Street Journal. So if you're like, oh, I heard that this is the anti-Trump channel because that's what they're saying in the media. I'm just reading for you the headline from the Wall Street Journal. I find those other headlines funny as well. Take a look at this one right here from Chief Executive Magazine, not exactly a bastion of liberals. They said the following: a poll of more than 220 U.S. CEOs finds business confidence at the lowest level since November 2012. CEO optimism plummets in March amid tariff uncertainty. Here's another doozy from the Wall Street Journal. Trump's economic message is spooking some of his own advisors. President's team receives flood of calls from business executives concerned about mixed messaging on tariffs. Quote, senior officials, including White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, have received panic calls from chief executives and lobbyists. It has been a horrific start for the economic policy team. So, when I have the headlines, oh, Trump panicking, or because I'm literally saying what the truth is. And I know sometimes in a Trump world, the truth may hurt, but we got to say what the truth is. Here's another Wall Street Journal headline. Is Trump throwing it all away? Duh. His tariff circus undermines U.S. standing just when it could be most useful. The U.S. has been the best functioning, most innovative economy in the world at a time when its rivals and partners are all struggling for different reasons. Trump is throwing it away with his tariff policy, but Donald Trump doesn't seem to care. What was he posting first thing in the morning yesterday? Wow! He goes, wow! People are loving Elon. A great patriot. Nice to see. I mean, literally, people despise Elon Musk. I'll show you this one right here, for example. I'll show you a Trump Republican congressional district right here during a town hall. They now do phone town halls rather than in-person town halls because they're terrified of what's going to actually happen. And so the MAGA Republican Congress member, Tom Barrett, from Michigan 7th, this Republican district, asked the people, type whatever if you like Doge, type whatever if you don't support Doge. Watch what happens. I wonder if these are all the Soros bots. Here, play this clip.
We'll go ahead and move on to our second poll question. And that question is, do you approve of the Department of Government Efficiency's mission to streamline the federal government and reduce spending? Again, this question is regarding Doge. Do you approve of the Department of Government Efficiency's mission to streamline the federal government and reduce spending? Press 1 for yes and press 2 for no. Again, that's 1 for yes and 2 for no. Our results are coming in, and it's at 70% for no and 30% for yes. That's 70% for no and 30% for yes for the approval of Doge's mission to streamline the federal government and reduce spending.
And by the way, people are calling C-SPAN, and I could show you dozens of calls like this, but I'll just show you this one right here. Let's play it.
Just like in 30 days. I mean, domestically, he's tanking the economy single-handed with the tariffs. And I just got a new heater today. I'm already affected by the tariffs.
How's that, Richard?
Parts are they say up 8 to 10% already, just in parts for the heater. So I ended up getting a new heater. But
the company told you that? The company that you bought it from?
Mm-hmm. Right.
And they passed on that 8 to 10% to you. So you paid an extra. Okay.
Yeah, and this is for every kind of part from outside the country, and no matter what it is. I mean, that includes everything that comes to the United States, to these tariffs that he's imposed.
Can we geek out for a minute on something? I think it's going to be helpful for you. It's called Fatty 15. Its co-founder, Dr. Stephanie Vin Watson, discovered C15 as the first essential fatty acid to be found in 90 years while working with the U.S. Navy to improve the health and welfare of aging dolphins. It's pretty simple. Essential nutrients keep our cells healthy, which keeps us healthy. So if you want to get sciencey about it, studies show that C15, it works by strengthening our cells, improving our mitochondrial function, and protecting us against damaging free radicals. So if you feel like, how could I stop aging faster? Or I'm sleeping poorly or feeling sluggish, the bottom line is that many of us are deficient in C15, which results in weaker cells, which results in those things. So Fatty 15 is the science-backed award-winning vegan and pure C15 supplement that steps in and helps. It works in multiple ways. It repairs age-related damage to cells. It protects them from future breakdowns. It boosts mitochondrial energy output and activates pathways in the body that help regulate sleep, mood, natural repair mechanisms that support our overall health. So deeper sleep, smoother functioning joints, healthier hair, skin, and nails. That's essential, and the C15 helps here, and Fatty 15 delivers. So it comes in these gorgeous reusable glass bamboo jars and refill capsules that are shipped to your door quarterly in pouches made from recycled materials. I love that. Fatty 15 is on a mission to replenish your C15 levels and restore your long-term health. You can get an additional 15% off their 90-day subscription starter kit by going to fatty15.com/Meidas and using the code Meidas at checkout. That's fatty15.com/Meidas, fatty15.com/Meidas, MEIDAS. Use that code Meidas at checkout, MEIDAS. Yeah, people are pissed right now. Workers are getting destroyed. Veterans are getting destroyed. People's retirement and savings is getting destroyed. Pensions are being destroyed. And what's Donald Trump doing? Holding product placement events, saying how much he loves Elon. Here's a scoop right here from Karen Tumulty. Scoop: Social Security, facing pressure from Doge, is now weighing big cuts to phone service. Agency considers ending phone program that helps claims processing and is used by millions. In other words, you won't be able to call Social Security anymore. Remember I showed a video a few days ago where the wait time just to even get somebody was like 10 hours, and then to process a claim it was like a year? What do you think happens when they fire everybody? Who's going to be able to process the claims? So one of the ways they're going to try to privatize and get rid of Social Security is by firing everybody, let the system crash, let it fail, and then try to have a business basically take it over. I wonder which business is it going to be? Is it going to be an Elon Musk business? Shocker, shocker, shocker. But look, the Trump administration's focused on what's mattering to the American people most. Plastic straws, and making sure that the DOJ is involved in robust enforcement of plastic straw situation. From the office of the Attorney General, President Trump, this is real. This is real memo that was issued moments recently. Trump recognized that there has been an irrational campaign against plastic straws that has led to the forced use of non-functional, more expensive, and potentially hazardous paper straws. The department stands with the president in rejecting this misguided effort of supporting plastic straws. Folks, there's a real, I'm not making this up, that's what their focus is on. That's a real memo. I'll give you this update as well. Judge Tanya Chutkan, Washington, D.C. federal judge, issued a powerful ruling yesterday, which has Trump and Musk freaked out, saying that Doge needs to submit to immediate expedited discovery. We told you about Judge Cooper doing that in another case. Judge Chutkan goes even further. So the walls are closing in on Doge. The walls are closing in on Doge, and Guantanamo Bay is closing. Remember, as I say, the corruption of the Trump administration is matched by its incompetence. So they couldn't even figure out this Guantanamo Bay thing. First, one of the things people uncovered is that in Guantanamo Bay, where they said they were giving the most dangerous migrants, almost none of the migrants were actually dangerous. They picked like 40 or 140 people originally. It wasn't even that many people. And they were non-violent people, not the gangs that they said. And they just took like people and threw them in Guantanamo Bay and then like deported them elsewhere to other places. But they like put them in Guantanamo Bay. Well, now ICE has now returned all migrants from Guantanamo Bay to stateside facilities. A new court filing described strip searches and the use of restraint chairs on some of the 290 migrants the Trump administration has cycled through the base. Jennifer Griffin over at Fox, she's one of the good ones they have over there, good reporter. She goes, Gitmo detention plans hit another bump. The administration's decision to take migrants to Gitmo appears at best to have been an expensive photo op. Now Fox News has learned all the migrants held at Gitmo have been sent to the U.S. and plans to send more to the U.S. Naval Station have been put on hold. Read the thread from Liz Frieden below. Why can't all the reporters there be like Jennifer Griffin? There are currently no migrants being held at Gitmo and no flight scheduled to arrive. Fox has learned none of the 195 tents set up to hold migrants have been used because they do not meet ICE standards, according to several U.S. officials. The operation to build more tents was halted back in February, just several weeks after it started. Remember these photo ops from cosplay Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem? Under President Donald Trump, the days of open borders are over. High-threat criminals are being arrested and locked up in Gitmo. Then she did this photo op, and then she did this video where she talked about it. And then she went on Fox and did this video.
Hi, everybody. I'm down here at Guantanamo Bay, checking out some of the operations that we're standing up to house the worst of the worst and illegal criminals that are in the United States of America. They won't be there for long. We want to thank President Trump for all of his hard work to make America safe again.
Well, it was all BS. I do want to mention this as well because it's not getting attention in American media. Like, did y'all know that like a Russian ship, cargo ship, intentionally crashed into another ship, a U.S. tanker transporting jet fuel for the U.S. military off the coast of Britain on March 10th? Did you know that happened? I mean, the Russian national's been arrested. The Russian crew was arrested, but it seems to be an intentional act of war. We don't hear a lot of people talking about that here, that the captain of the ship was Russian. We'll be reporting on more on that in other videos as well. The one thing I think to note about America's crashing economy, though, is that other areas in the world are doing okay or good. Like, if you just take a look at this chart right here, the U.S. stocks have underperformed the global markets in 2025, like significantly. And when was the date where the global markets significantly overtook the U.S. markets? Surprise, surprise. The day of the inauguration. The day of the inauguration, the Atlanta Federal Reserve was predicting if Trump just kept the former Biden economy on autopilot, did nothing, golfed, took credit for it, just said, look what I did, look what I built, it probably would have grown about 3% GDP quarter one. Now we're expecting a contraction, a recession as well, with about negative 2.8 to negative 3% GDP. But folks, the MAGA Republicans want to spin this all as great stuff. Like Laura Ingraham says, this is a transition. We're living through a great transition. Play this clip.
So what we're living through now is a transition, and this one's good for us. For decades, ours has been an economy driven by government stimulus, a lot of printing and borrowing of money, government spending, government giveaways. And Trump knows our survival, though, requires a return to an economy by private sector productivity, the way it used to be. That's why the playing field in global trade has got to be leveled.
And Tommy Tuberville, MAGA Republican senator, says, no pain, no gain. Play the clip.
And Trump's tariffs making America great again. It's a great strategy. Somebody's finally doing something out of the White House, President Trump, that is, that says you have to take an action in another country.
Yeah. no pain, no gain. That's what we used to tell our football players. There's going to be some pain with tariffs. But tariffs got us back as the strongest economy in the world when President Trump was in the first time. He knows what he's doing. Democrats, get out of the way, shut up. You have no answers. You didn't do anything right in the last 4 years with Joe Biden. We have a game plan. Trump has a game plan along with Howard Lutnick and the other people that are pushing the tariffs. We can turn this thing around. But, folks, let me tell you, this is our last chance. If we can't get it done now with tariffs and with pulling regulations and getting people back to work and cutting our debt and cutting the amount of spending, we're not going to have the country that we've had before. So people need to just listen, learn from this, understand it's short-term pain. We're going to get this turned around. President Trump knows exactly what he's doing, and he has a game plan, something Democrats didn't know anything about.
No pain, no gain. And then you have Trump's trade advisor, Peter Navarro, saying this was the best 50 days ever. Play this clip.
President Trump has had the best 50 days of any president in American history, and there's no sign inside here or outside there that that's going to slow down, because we got a lot of good stuff to go, and we're just going to, and I'm so pleased with the trade team and the vice president, because we are all on the same page, moving in the same direction under the president's leadership, and it's working beautifully.
Well, last thing I want to point out to everybody as well is it seems obvious that Vladimir Putin rejected the ceasefire agreement. Putin launches drone strikes on Kyiv hours after Trump challenged him to, quote, tango, and agreed to Ukraine ceasefire as pressure mounts on Kremlin to back down. Oh, that's going to do it. Trump's going to say, tango. Tango, Putin. Don't you want a tango? Putin's just like ignoring it. Sergei Lavrov, Putin's foreign minister, is like just basically ignoring it. And not only are they ignoring it, they went into the Kursk region dressed in military fatigues, and Putin demanded that the war be escalated and that more land be taken. So that's what happened. Anyway, we'll keep you posted with more. I'm Ben Meiselas. This is the MeidasTouch Network. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 5 million subscribers.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.